So here is another example of external engagement by university campuses. This is from Ireland, worrying about the role of university campuses in national sustainability transitions. You expect universities to be training the workforce to make sustainability transitions happen at all scales, but campus installations and direct engagement, instead of just sending out trained graduates, in helping national sustainability transition, obviously enhances the university's reputation and maybe also its funding from the government. University campuses have the capacity to experiment with and demonstrate innovative sustainability solutions in a real-world context that may serve as possible pre-configurations of sustainable societies. So you experiment first, find the results and the transferable solutions, and you pass it on to the societies. While there is potential for universities to improve their own operational sustainability by experimenting with innovative sustainability solutions on campus, the greatest potential of the sector is their multiplier effect on catalyzing wider society's transitions towards sustainable communities. To evaluate university campus potential contributions towards catalyzing wider society's transition towards sustainable communities, no single perspective is adequate due to the multidimensional nature of sustainability transition pathways. As a result, an integrated approach titled Higher Education Advancing Development for Sustainability, or HEADS approach, was developed and applied to the UC sector in university campus sector in Ireland, utilizing the perspectives of initiative-based learning or a living lab that we looked at. Essentially, UCSC campus is a sustainability lab or a living lab for sustainability, where students participate, do experiments, measure things, summarize results, do projects, and do learning as well. So socio-technical analysis and quantitative systems modeling is involved as well in this. By utilizing this integrated approach, a fuller picture is achieved by bridging the partial understanding obtained from each of these perspectives as to how university campuses may contribute to national transition towards sustainability. For a small country like Ireland, this could make a big difference. Socio-technical analysis, a critical review. I won't go into the details, but socio-technical analysis is a perspective that looks at how technology and social systems co-evolve over time. It's anything but obvious that new technologies will easily be assimilated, adopted, or accepted, and depends on many factors. So often simply introducing new technologies may not work. Socio-technical systems consist of dynamically interconnected components that include technologies, infrastructure, organizations, markets, regulations, and user preferences that are responsible for the delivery of societal functions. Transitions at the societal level involve a change from one socio-technical system to another. So you are trying to move people away from an older system that they may already be comfortable with, they may already like, they may already think is affordable for them, and so on. So this is referred to as systems innovation. The two most common research frameworks that have been applied to socio-technical transitions are the multi-phase concept of transitions and the multi-level perspective of society. According to MPC transitions, the ideal pattern that represents a transition process can be represented by an S-shaped curve that includes the 4 phases of the pre-development, takeoff, breakthrough, and stabilization. Okay, so pre-development, takeoff, breakthrough, and stabilization. So pre-development phase is very little, it's hardly visible change on the societal level, but experimentation is happening to reach the societal level transitioning phase. Takeoff phase, the process of change commences and the state of the system begins to shift. Acceleration phase, structural changes take place in a visible way through an accumulation of socio-cultural, economic, ecological, and institutional changes that interact with one another during this phase. There are collective learning processes, diffusion and embedding processes. It has to be assimilated into the operations of the society depending on what sector is being addressed. Stabilization phase is where the speed of societal change decreases and a new dynamic equilibrium is being approached. The MPC multi-level process, whatever this was, multi-level perspective, no, the other one, multi-phase concept is used to conceptualize the role of university campuses play in each of these phases through research, experimentation, deployment, and upscaling of sustainability solutions. So I won't go into the details. I will leave that here, but they offer several steps: initiative-based learning, a critical role; higher education, advancing development for sustainability, or HEADS approach, which looks something like this. You have scales going from local to national, and time going from past to present, and planning for the future. So you have quantitative analysis, national projections to inform what is technologically and behaviorally possible in a given country, because you're going from local to national level. Socio-technical analysis, so multi-level perspective and multi-phase concept to guide higher education institutions as niche actors in national transitions, and living laboratories, extended case studies of real-world experimentation at HEIs, as we talked about in the case of UCSC Sustainability Lab, and many other examples that we looked at. What do they conclude? I'm again being very brief, so you can go back and read. Achieving national and international targets for decarbonization require fundamental changes in energy and material consumption, and all possible actors and agencies will need to be active in developing and adopting practices differing significantly from business as usual. In Ireland and in many other countries, the potential of the UC is being exploited to a very limited extent. The objective of this paper is to conceptualize and evaluate the UC role in advancing national efforts to enhance sustainability by providing a rationale for such a role, and to evaluate the types of significant outcomes which may be anticipated. Conceptualization is needed to provide a rationale for governments and government agencies to recognize and exploit opportunities within this sector for policies and actions which may be expected to aid in meeting national and international commitments, and to guide UC in following best international practice in identifying and applying appropriate plans and actions. Okay, so let's leave this here and we'll come back and look at closing graduate sustainability skills. So identifying skills by doing on-campus sustainability implementations, of course, allows us to identify the expertise needed for sending them out into the real world, and also then try to create courses and curricular activities to close the gaps that are identified. Okay, so I'll see you in the next podcast.